The resume is your fundamentals. It's your base. It's your foundation. Everything that you do online from a career standpoint should be based off your resume and what you do. And I think if you understand that, the reason LinkedIn is so important at any level, I don't care what you do, you should have a LinkedIn profile and make it optimized because it's 50% of LinkedIn consists of recruiters and human resource professionals. It's a public resume database. They're searching you. You'll never know what you don't know if you're not in the game. You can't win the lottery without a lottery ticket. LinkedIn's a lottery ticket for your background sometimes because you'll get a call out of nowhere from a recruiter or from a company, and they may say, "Hey, I got this great situation," and you might be currently working, but the job might be 10 times better than what you're doing. And this is a great way to make sure that if HR is looking for you, that you have an opportunity to be found. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to take Sandra's LinkedIn profile and we're going to make it awesome as well. But let me run through a couple real quick. Here's the no picture one. That's not good. Get a picture on your LinkedIn profile. You know how they don't like, when you have a resume and you put a picture on it, you're a weirdo. But if you have a LinkedIn profile and you don't have a picture on it, you're a weirdo too. Maybe even weirder because they're going to wonder why that person doesn't have a picture. A lot of times you don't want to put lots of pictures of people. You really want to just get a professional headshot. Like Kate, which person's Kate there? Is it the one in the background? Is it the front one? I don't know. Selfies, you guys know the routine with selfies, the cat picture, people with the animals. Now, if you're getting a veterinarian's job at an office or something like that, maybe having a picture of a cat holding in your LinkedIn profile might be a pretty good idea. Here's an insurance broker that it's nice and everything. I just can't see the person in the picture, and it's if you're in a job search, that's and someone's looking you up, that they may pass just because of that. They can't figure out what you do or who you are. And we have a lot of Disney folks that love to put their pictures there, and which is fine if you're applying to Disney World. But what did you do at Disney World? And that's what we need to know. I have no idea what Stephanie does here, and I'd like to know because she looks like a very fun person. And I'm questioning, is she the character or the other person? I don't know, and we're going to try. We have to find that out. But LinkedIn's just opened up a whole new world to brand yourself. Notice the background. Notice this background pictures and stuff like that. Just something really simple. You get your titles, you get where you located, all this other stuff. It's just, you can see the huge difference. And it's just a professional headshot. That background picture at the top here, trying to pick something that reflects what you do and what you like to do is just really important. And I think if you get the right combination, your resume comes alive on LinkedIn. Eventually, you'll be able to put video up in your profile, and the Chamber will definitely have some resources to do that. Here's the Uber risk manager. He's wearing sunglasses, but I just thought that was pretty cool because he was at Uber. And then here's another one, just a nice background picture, very specific, nice headshot. That little green dot right there, people always say, "Hey, what does that mean?" It just means you're online. And if you're online, then you can talk pretty quickly to that person. And here's John Frazier. John is one of our awesome team members at OrlandoJobs.com. But I was looking at his, and he does have a great, because he is awesome in what he does in Orlando. And his picture says it. His headshot is phenomenal. He looks approachable in this thing, and so forth. And it's something to just take note of, because it says, "Hey, yeah, give me a call." When an HR person does a search, they get a list. This is how they get a list of people, right? So you've got these, and this is just a really short list, but notice the differences in all these things. Glenn at the bottom here doesn't have a title. Why did he come up on my search if he didn't have a title? That means I actually have to click up on him. Lori has a nice one. She's a senior human resources dedicated to HR guidance. So if I'm looking for HR, talent acquisition partner, I'm just wondering what that picture is. I have no idea. Michelle, she's a transportation dispatch. Everything's fine there. I just, I think a more professional headshot, even it's not a bad shot. It's just not as good as it could possibly be. And then Nicole does a pretty good job there. But you become a list just like everything else. It's, you click on what gets you excited, right? And whether it's a news story, a sports story, or whatever the case might be. So um, the headline's super, super important. And that's in the yellow there. That is what you do for a living. And I like that she put hers as senior territory sales manager, top 3 in the nation. I like that, because it says a little bit more than just territorial sales manager. She's top 3. Who? If I'm looking for a salesperson, I may want to give her a ring. Here's my profile. I'm not in a job search right now. I might be. I'm not sure, but I'm not in a job search. But that's my team behind me. I just want mine to come across as a fun company. But if you hit this little button right, if you hit these buttons there, you can easily put your headline in here. And I want to show you this other trick that LinkedIn allows you to do, and we've done it for quite a while. I don't personally do it, but I've known others that have, and it really works out well. But in your first name, you put your full name, and then in your last name, you put what you do for a living. So if I was going to be a property claims adjuster, I could put a hyphen property claims adjuster, and what would happen is my LinkedIn profile then would be very specific to what I do. And anytime you connect to somebody or whatever else, it just won't be your name. It'll also be your title. So you might want to give that a shot. Not many people do it, but the ones that have done it, they've been able to do it for years, and they've seen some pretty good results from that. I get a lot of students always ask me, should I have a LinkedIn profile? Absolutely. And make sure that you get that your title is accounting student at University of Florida. And if you are ready to seeking employment in accounting, put it right there in your title. It's a great thing. But while you're in college, you can start building contacts. If you know you're going into accounting, you should be connecting to all the CPA firms around town and so forth. Here's our board. Here's a great board director at the East who's has done a great job with his LinkedIn profile, but for different reasons, he's doing it on the other side. He has a business, and he's able to be very specific above the fold with everything. He even puts his phone numbers and things like that in there. So that's pretty cool stuff there. So the summary is really important. You got to tell your story. That's the about section. Tell who you are and so forth. I'll show you how to do that. I know we're getting going on time, but I want to get through this LinkedIn profile makeover, and then we'll do some questions. But when you remember Sandra, remember her from before? Well, this is Sandra's LinkedIn profile. Her LinkedIn profile was okay. It's just like pretty much everybody else's. But if you notice, this is before I got a hold of it, but there's no title, and she lives in the United States. So when a potential employer is looking for you, and there's no title of your LinkedIn profile and know where you live, because they look by geographic most of the time, this person's going to have a very hard time being found, except by accident, and so forth. So I'm going to, with a click of the mouse, change everything. So the first thing I did was I got a relevant, she's an IT program manager, so I got that nice title put in there. Then the Atlanta metropolitan area, that covers pretty much all North Georgia. Then the background picture, just since she's thoughtful, that background picture reminded me, well, that seems somewhat organized. It doesn't look like my desk. My desk is a complete mess. But that, for an IT project manager, it just says organization. So immediately, I know more about her with 3 changes. If that's all was changed, This is 10 times better than what it was. But there's more. But there's more. That about section. Where do you think that about section comes from? Well, look at Sandra's resume. The about section is what's on the top one third of her resume. Copy paste and put it in. And you have an outstanding keyword oriented profile in the about. And so just like your resume, anybody looking at your LinkedIn profile can figure out what you do without having to even move the page down. And that is so important. The same way with your resume. Your resume, they should be able to tell what you do and everything without, even if your resume was folded in half. And that really that screams optimization. And again, I challenge all of you to understand how important this is. And you can take anything that you do in your backgrounds and push it in there. If you notice in the experience, then before she just had her titles, we just basically put her resume in here based on the positions that she's trying to get. With LinkedIn, since you may be applying to 10 different types of jobs that have different things, you can add more keywords if you do them to your profile and so forth. So just always know that you don't want to over keyword your profile. It's that doesn't make any sense, but this is 10 times better. It's beautiful. And I think it's going to be exciting to see what type of results she's going to start getting now that she has a good resume as well as a great profile. I hope you guys see all that stuff. This is really, really important stuff. And it's even more important knowing that the challenge to get hired right now when there's maybe 20, 30, 50 other people applying for the same job, you can stand out. You can stand out. 80% of you right now don't, but you can. And I hope that means a lot to you because I am very passionate about this, especially when it comes to the robot side. Humans are, if they have time, they can, you can, some a lot of good recruiters know how to read through bad resumes. Let's put it that way. All right. So nothing here that I'm going to tell you that we haven't already talked, but your title and summary and your keywords are some of the most important things. If you haven't personalized your URL, make sure you do that and you just edit your URL. Again, these things will be all there, but instead of having a bunch of numbers, it can be your LinkedIn profile /in/your name. And that's always a great thing because it looks a lot better. Remember that one resume we saw with that guy's huge LinkedIn name? It looks a lot better by just putting LinkedIn @Roger Lear. They'll know what that means. So that's kind of cool. Get that professional headshot right now. Joey, who you met in the beginning, is a professional headshot king, and he'll have some. I'm sure we'll send you some contact information if you need your headshot done. The problem is no one can do headshots right now until this economy reopens because I guess they don't think it's essential. I think it is essential. I think jobs are essential. Don't get me started, but we'll get you that information. But get a professional headshot. It means all the difference in the world. And there's nothing on this that I need to really do. Just if you can remember, LinkedIn's a public resume database. If someone pulls you up and you can create curiosity, you're going to get connected to them. And then all of a sudden, before you know, you're going to find a great job there. And those two things together, that resume and that LinkedIn profile, if you optimize the way we just went through that stuff, you are going to be just absolutely amazed at if you've been struggling to hear back from employers when you've applied to jobs, you're going to be extremely amazed about how many more opportunities I think you're going to get. And then you're going to have to get your interview skills and gear and a bunch of other stuff. Lastly, when you're applying to jobs and you have all this stuff and it's good, try to do it from a desktop and not a cell phone. Unfortunately, when you get redirected to company websites and their applicant tracking systems, so only about 10% of your application or people that apply actually get all the way through the process. And it's because you can't do everything it's requiring you to do a lot of times on a cell phone. It's 2020. You'd think that'd be changed by now. It hasn't been. So that's you might have thought you applied to a job, but you might not have gotten through. So